everybody. This is Dan Dufrenoy from Circle Back Gaming, and I'm here to talk about my top 10 favorite games of 2018. And what a year it was. A very, very good year for games, and a lot of contenders. It was very, very tough to make a top 10 games. But these are my personal favorite games of the year. If your favorite game doesn't appear, that doesn't mean that I didn't like it. Doesn't mean that it's not any good. Maybe I just didn't get to it, or, these games touched me for certain reasons. And we all have different opinions, so this is mine. So let's just get into it. These are my personal top 10 games of 2018. Number 10, Gris. Gris combines the beauty and fear of a fantastic planet with the sense of exploration and discovery of a journey. The beautiful watercolor world is something to behold, and is my vote for the most aesthetically beautiful game of this year. The story of a woman who loses her voice and must traverse the stages of grief while the environments mimic these ideas offers moments that are somber, sweet, triumphant, and serene. I love the whole package of Gris, and though a couple of other games might have passed this game on my list, Gris truly made for a memorable experience, and a game I will revisit over time. Number 9, Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead was my most anticipated game of this year, and there's a lot I love about it. Arthur Morgan might be one of the greatest characters in video game history, and his story is fleshed out and authentic. The world built around him is large and expansive, and the cast of characters work to make our protagonist even more believable. There are several moments in this game that just blew me away, specifically around Chapter 3 and 4 and the ending, so definitely push on through. The amount of time required might be a put off to many, and at times I did find myself losing interest. For all that there is to see and explore, some of it does feel hollow, and Rockstar's business practices are inexcusable, and these are the reasons why it falls lower on my list than it might on other people's lists. But at the end of the day, Red Dead is an incredible game, and it's worth being here on this list. Number 8, Florence. Florence might be short, but in its approximate 45-minute time frame, the story of a young girl who experiences the highs and lows of a relationship and learns about herself left such an impression with me, and aligns itself with the old adage that sometimes the truth can be spoken in few words. The way the gameplay mimics the emotions involved add to the experience, and the music is just phenomenal. Wear headphones when you play. And that's it. Play it. There's really no excuse not to. Number 7, Marvel's Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a comic book fan's dream. It's like playing a comic book. The story is engaging. Playing as Spider-Man is fun and fluid. Playing as Peter Parker adds the depth I love about the franchise. A high school kid who is also a superhero, so he has to juggle work, school, relationships, and fighting supervillains. My favorite part of the game was all the subtle nods to the lore of Spider-Man, including all the items you can collect. Certain items are direct references to the comic book, and I love that stuff. I really appreciated how the game also focused on major characters in Peter's life, and it made for an overall well-rounded experience. And boy, web slinging around the city felt amazing. This game is pure fun and was a blast from start to finish. Number 6, Ni no Kuni 2: Revenant Kingdom. I love the original Ni no Kuni, and in many ways I might like this one even better. The story of Evan's quest to unite the world is sweet and touching at times, and I couldn't help but smile all the way through. The world is vast and beautiful. The towns visited are unique and exciting. I found the kingdom building parts to be a lot of fun and enjoyable, and for me, the greatest improvement over the original was the new combat, which was a lot more fluid, comfortable, and precise than the original in my opinion. Overall, the whole game is brilliant, and I would recommend this to anyone who loves RPGs, Studio Ghibli, or video games in general. Crikey! Number 5, Into the Breach. Oh man, that music! Oh man, that art style! Oh man, my brain! I've never been too crazy about grid-based games, and somehow this one just grabbed me and became one of my all-time favorite games of this year, and of all time. A lot has to be said about the aesthetic, but it's just really a lot of fun to play. It's slow and methodical, and, you jump to a decision too quickly and you're a goner. There's many different ways to play this game, and that adds a whole bunch of layers of replayability to it. In a year of unique games, this one definitely carves its own path, taking an established system and adding its own personality and charm. The game is just fun, and because it is run-based, getting to the end is challenging but extremely rewarding. There's always a solution to every puzzle. It's a great game. Highly recommended. Number 4, Minute. 60 seconds is all you have to obtain all the items you need and maneuver from safe house to safe house and unlock the secrets of this island and the power controlling it. It's a great gimmick that creates a great game. The old Game Boy style aesthetic is awesome, and the power of exploration is on full display. Very reminiscent of A Link to the Past and even the first Zelda, and the magic of adventure is what really makes this game a true gem. Loads of fun. Number 3, God of War. I'm very surprised the God of War game would be one of my favorite games of this year, because my history with them has been less than desirable. I never liked the God of War games growing up. I didn't find the combat fun. I found Kratos super irritating, and mainly just didn't understand all this over-the-top masculinity, and why we had to overkill everything, and also why was there so much minimal clothing back in the days of Sparta. So when this game came along, I was extremely delighted and surprised. Here's a story about a father and a son going on a journey. But the catch is that Kratos is the dad. Watching this character I grew up not liking having to be a father figure was hysterical and touching at the same time. And I appreciate how Cory Barlog and the staff at Santa Monica Studios realized that for so many years, Kratos has been one thing. And now he has to be another thing that's the complete antithesis of who he is, and the self-referential moments are just a joy to behold, especially since his son carries some of Kratos' less than desirable qualities. We're here to watch a father want his son to be better than him, and not be him, and it makes for a touching experience all the way through. God of War might have the best direction of this year. How from start to finish everything is one shot, creating an incredible experience that is fluid. The gameplay is different than previous games, taking a third-person behind-the-shoulder view and donning Kratos with an axe that he can throw and chop his enemies with. This new gameplay style adds a sense of weight to the character and the story as a whole, where you have to be methodical or you'll get your butt handed to you. I like this because the game takes a more serious tone and forgoes the over-the-topness of the original games. Don't get me wrong, the game still has elements that I take issue with, especially on a social level. But my number one favorite thing about this game is the sense of scale it creates. Moments of grandeur where, you come across these characters and landscapes larger than life and are so beautifully detailed and fleshed out, it creates a whole new experience. God of War is an experience. Take it. Number 2, Wandersong. On the surface, it's a cute, colorful, construction paper looking game about a bard who wants to save the world using his voice. Underneath it all is a lesson on the importance of kindness and being true to oneself, and persevering no matter how insurmountable the odds may be. The joy of this game is from the writing. There is gameplay that requires you to move around and jump, as well as sing by moving your cursor to different colored notes on a wheel to compose a song, but mainly you just go from town to talk to people, and get to know them and their stories, with the goal of learning a special song that will save the world. It all seems so silly on the surface, but there are moments in this game that pack such a punch you are left speechless. Do not be fooled by appearances, our little bard would tell us, because everybody has a story to tell, and there's a hero within us all. Other people may not believe in you, but as long as you do, that's really all that matters. Give people a chance, give this game a chance. It is a special experience that mixes joy, depression, happiness, and self-doubt flawlessly, and is by far the most underrated game of this year. Thanks to Greg Lebanoff for creating an unforgettable experience in Wandersong. Number 1, Celeste. My game of the year for so many reasons. As a longtime fan of 2D platformers from Mario to Castlevania, to Braid to Limbo, to Super Meat Boy, this game is right up there with them when it comes to sheer brilliance in design. Each level is perfectly crafted and puts your skills to the test. Never unfair, but certainly difficult to even the most seasoned veterans. The whole package of Celeste is perfect in my opinion. It tells of a story of a young girl named Madeline, who is battling mental illness as she climbs the top of a mountain. This game is not afraid to tackle tough subjects, and many hit certain nerves in my life that make the characters involved extremely relatable. The writing is superb, and the feelings of anxiety, loss, perseverance, determination, and joy are all handled beautifully, and many times I forgot that I'm looking at 2D sprites. These characters become so believable and their struggles and successes become yours. As Madeline progresses through her journey and works through her anxieties, the levels of the mountain mimic these themes, and her ascent up the mountain became much more personal to me, and not so much a game, but a story whose message of acceptance and forgiveness to one's own demons is beautiful and refreshing. A game with an incredible story that's relevant, has incredible gameplay and design, superb music, creates a package unlike any other. Celeste is a special game and is my personal favorite from this year, and is an all-time favorite. Thank you, Matt Makes Games, for giving us an incredible game to play, but also a story to help us remember what's important when we feel as if our world is tumbling down.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching and or listening. Just here to remind you that you can find us by searching for Circleback Podcast or Circleback Gaming on any of these podcast services: Anchor, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, or Stitcher. By God, I'm out of breath because of all these podcast services, but you can find us anywhere there. Also, you can find our video version on YouTube by searching Circle Back Podcast or Circle Back Gaming, and the rest of the videos we do. Thanks, guys.